Welcome to CelinaRadio.com. Recorded right here in Celina, Texas, a quiet little dusty, sleepy town that has absolutely nothing going on. Guys, I am so totally kidding about that. Of course, this is Celina, Texas, and we have everything going on here. Now, I'm Ron Lyons. This is CelinaRadio.com, and we intend to have a good time. So put on your seatbelt, and let's get started. Hello, Celina, Texas, and welcome to the CelinaRadio.com podcast, episode 4. Today, we continue our pursuit of yet another of the candidates for Celina City Council. Today, Eric Becker takes a little time, sits down, and lets us kind of deep dive into Eric behind the scenes. Not the Eric on the signs, not the Eric on the postcards and that sort of thing. And in other words, not Eric the candidate, but Eric the human being. So Eric Becker is a local business owner. He's been around Celina for some time. He has a well-known name. He's got a well-known business. And he allowed me to come into his shop in Celina, sit down, take a little bit of his time, and have a discussion. And it's interesting. Quite a few things that I think you're going to find fascinating about Eric, about his likes and dislikes and that sort of thing. And Eric has a tendency to just kind of speak his mind. And I can certainly respect that. So guys, sit back and let's find out a little bit more about Eric Becker. So I am here with Eric Becker, and Eric is actually running for Celina City Council. Eric, how are you doing?
Doing good. Good.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me, how long have you been in Celina? What do you do? What's Eric Becker's life look like?
So very active, that's for sure. So we've actually lived here 17 years now. Stay heavily involved from church and the city, and then work also. So I actually own and operate automation integration. Many people recognize us around town from the actual green trucks. So we are those guys driving all over town, and so that keeps us extremely busy.
So we're actually in a portion of your office right now, and you've got quite the bunch of cars out there with the wraps on them. So tell me, what does automation integration do? What is that business?
Yep. So we do a little bit of everything. We started back in 1999 doing pro sound. We now do home AV, home automation. So that's your actual security cameras of the house, TVs, media rooms, speakers, shades, all that stuff. On the actual commercial side of things, we also do high voltage work. So all your plugs, lights, fixtures, and all that.
So you stay really busy. Right now, I would assume that in Celina, there's a lot of work, and you've probably got a lot more coming up. Is that? I love audio video stuff, but is that really rewarding for you? Like, do you love doing that kind of stuff? Is it kind of like your passion?
It is. I truly enjoyed it. It's because every day isn't the same. Since we're not doing the same cookie cutter alarm systems, we're not just a cheapo alarm system company. Every day is different. Every system is different. Even if you use the same components, it never goes the same. So every day is different. Every day is something new and fun.
Right. And your name is well known around town. A lot of people have a lot of respect for you. I have certainly known you for some time and what you do around here. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, sir.
It's much appreciated. And what we're going to do is we're not going to get all deep off into platforms and all that kind of stuff. All that stuff is probably out there. And so what I want to ask you right now is, do you have maybe a Facebook page or a website or a phone number, anything like that you want to share so that people can learn more about that aspect of your efforts for City Council?
Yep. The overall easiest way, there's a Facebook page, Eric Becker for Celina City Council Place 1, but those are sometimes difficult and hard to find. So the easiest way to find out anything about me and get links to everywhere else is our site, which is beckerforcelina.com.
Okay, that sounds awesome. So, and we'll add that into the show notes and stuff like that so people can find that as well at the end. But give me a quick idea. Are you loving running for office, or is it awful? What is it? I think you kind of have, one end or the other. I've run for office a couple of times. I've run a lot of campaigns and done political action committees, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. But what's your experience so far?
I would say overall, I'm actually the actual middle of it. So there are parts of it that are great and fun. I love meeting new people, meeting old people, talking about things, talking about topics inside that actually matter to actually have everyone, and having a good time doing it. Unfortunately, there are parts that actually aren't fun, and I hope that those would just end and we could actually talk about things that matter.
Right on. I understand. Politics, unfortunately, always comes with two faces. You've got one where it's exciting and fun and you do it for all the right reasons, and then you've got kind of that other side that's just, well, it's kind of ugly sometimes.
Yep.
But thankfully, we're not talking about that. What I do have today is some questions that you're 100% unprepared for. I have not sent them to you in advance. You may have heard on some of the other interviews to get an idea, but I'm going to change them just a little bit so that you don't get the exact same questions. So let's have a little bit of fun with this, first of all. So I'm just going to start with like the kind of the basic question that is real interesting to me. Nobody else probably cares about it, but if you could sit down with anyone in history and have a cup of coffee, who would you want to sit down with and chat?
So that's a good one. It's hard to say. There's so many people out there like to, I would say go back to when we actually founded the actual country, George Washington. Is how did it all start? How did we really end up here? What does that? Because that is building a business essentially from the ground up. How did it start? How did we get there? What is it?
Absolutely. And let me ask you this: what do you think if you were able to sit down with him and he knows nothing about what's going on in today's world? You're literally sitting at Summer Moon having a cup of coffee, and he sees all these cars driving around and stuff. But what do you think he says about the world? What do you think what's his impression of the world today?
I think they'd think overall they'd like how it. So he'd like how it really has nothing. Yes, the world's changed a whole lot. But at the end of the day, what they started is still here and is still actually functioning. And many of these governments across the world can't function this long. We take our same government system and try to put it somewhere else, it falls apart after years. And the fact that it's still here today at the end of it, and the documents and what they did is still here, and we're still actually using them now, is huge.
I agree. So that would be a fantastic conversation, one that I would definitely be interested in listening to. Give me an idea right now, if you could, about your favorite movie of all time. And then I'm going to ask you some questions about it. But what's your favorite movie? If you had to just pick one off the top of your head, what would it be?
Oh dear. I would say National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I absolutely love that movie myself. So, okay. All right. So if you could, this is going to be an easy question then. Who would you be in the movie if you could be anyone? Would you be Chevy Chase character?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Awesome. So that's fun. That's good. That's exciting. And I think that probably fits your personality. And I think that's awesome. I think that's a good thing. I think that's a testament to who you are and your sense of humor. So if you could write a book right now, do you have any idea what you would like to write a book about?
I would say, I'm not sure if it'd be writing the book, is more of trying to learn more. It's just, I think I have some knowledge to pass on, would be dealing with actual employees and the process and running a company and trying to explain that it's not everything. It's not as easy as it seems. And almost trying to talk people out of it to a point. It's not, I mean, I think I'm doing good. I enjoy what I do every day. but it's not the easiest road to take. Sometimes staying as the employee or manager is the actual better option.
Right. And that makes sense. That would be a really, really good book. Your favorite color?
Green.
And okay, so your favorite color is green. There's a big green wall sitting right next to me, so I probably could have guessed that. There's green things around the room, so I probably could have guessed that. What does that say about you? What is that? Is there any connection to like what does green say about Eric Becker?
I don't know what it says, but I definitely live it through and through. From green vehicles to green sunglasses to green clothes to there's an actual green bus parked outside. I went to college based upon the actual color green. So
I'm taking it you went to UNT.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, me too. That's awesome. Good. And let me. That's so awesome. I literally didn't even think about it. There's green cars, there's green walls, there's green everything. So that's really awesome. What is probably one of your most, this isn't necessarily a fun question, but it rides on the coattails of what you're saying about basic leadership and in an organization. What would you consider one of your strongest characteristics or personality traits or something like that? Like what is your strong suit?
I would say it's a strength and a weakness at the same time, and that's not saying no. Always out there to help. With anything out there, no matter what it is. But at the same time, you can't overextend yourself.
Right, absolutely, and it is you become kind of a shepherd or kind of a helper, and before you know it, it becomes burdensome. But if it's built into you, if it's in your DNA, you really can't help it. So tell me this, favorite subject in school?
Oh dear. Definitely not English, as people have seen that online. Definitely not that. Probably science.
Okay, science. Yep. Wow, that's awesome. It kind of goes hand in hand with what you do now professionally. There's some connection there. I can kind of see that.
It's that desire to understand things, and that's my guys will say, and anyone else will. And it's even whether it's a city employee or another business or whatever. If someone's doing something, I'm the guy asking you, why are we doing like that? I'm not trying to quiz or whatever. I'm not trying to trap you. I'm actually curious. Why is an actual P trap for a plumbing system built like that? Why are we framing a wall like that? I want to know.
Absolutely, because you have a better understanding when you know these things. So that makes perfect sense to me. What if you could go back? If I could go back right now and talk to one of your teachers, what would they say about you? What kind of student were you? Were you an always in trouble? Were you a breakfast club? Which one of the breakfast club kind of kids would you have been in school?
So I've definitely changed a lot. I was the very shy kid. Didn't really do a whole lot. Was in band and just kind of hung out. Very small group of friends, and yeah. So you were like the Ali Sheedy character, basically, just not Ali Sheedy. So yeah, I got you. Okay, and do you have an idea right now, like with all of the stuff going on in Celina, all the growth and that sort of thing? What are we missing right now? What do we need in Celina at this point in time? It's an interesting one. So I think everything's coming at the right pace. Obviously, people want more big box, and you've got these two sides of the actual coin. You have a group that wants the big box and all the chain restaurants and all that. I think we need smaller mom and pop stuff. Give it a chance to grow and actually flourish before all the big stuff comes. Summer Moon is a good example. Are they a small mom and pop anymore? No, it actually is a chain, but still a whole lot smaller than Starbucks. Let them get in here, get their actual feet wet, get set, and then we get something else. The two bakeries coming downtown are huge. Yes, it's two bakeries, but they do different things. Swirls, the actual cinnamon roll group, is going into the old Hester space, and then Granny's Sweeties, Michaela Everson, and they're opening up their actual space right next to council chamber. So I think it's getting that smaller stuff in. We give it a chance to grow right now. Give me an idea right now. If you, by some magical turn of events,
won the lottery tonight, okay, $10 million, what do you do tomorrow?
So we've actually had a lot of thought about this. I would probably, from a work standpoint, I would change what we do. I would be more selective in my jobs, but I'd still run the company. I need something to go and actually do each day. And then we would remodel our house. I'm happy with where our house is. I've told my wife, much to her chagrin, I am dying there. I have an acre lot in the middle of town, no HOA. You aren't going to find it that actually get anywhere. So I am going to die in that house. I might buy the house next door to me if one of them wants to sell, so I can remodel both and make it a little bigger. But I'm staying right there. I like being in a neighborhood with people, but still having some actual space.
Absolutely. And we all love Celina. Obviously, we're all here. That's what we're doing, right? And it's all Celina. But if you could live, and maybe it goes hand in hand with that $10 million winning that you're going to win tonight, right? If you could live anywhere else in the world, and you had your choice of living anywhere, where would that be?
A beach.
A beach.
An actual hut on the beach.
So you want to do that off grid thing. You want to like live out and do the solar cells and all that kind of stuff. And
leave Facebook behind.
Well, there you go. Okay, I wouldn't complain about that. I often say that if it wasn't for the connections that I have and the necessity for business and things like that, I wouldn't do Facebook. I think it absolutely steals your life in many ways.
That it's all of it. It's the Facebook. It's the texting. It's people expect an actual instant response to stuff now, and we all have lives. Yesterday we had a new project in Celina working on, and I was on an actual backhoe and all day and in a ditch. Not getting my phone, not doing anything. People are posting and asking me questions. I'm not responding. They're getting upset. Sorry, we have things to do. It's not an instant world.
Yep. No, I understand. I actually talked to a very wise gentleman one time, and he was saying something similar to what you said. His kids were getting upset with him. They were like, "Dad, how come you don't respond right away?" And he was like, "Because I want you to learn patience. You need to learn this. So I'm not going to respond right away." And I was like, wow, in a small way, that's pretty epic. And what a great lesson. So, I think that we've got a lot of different places in Celina to go and eat. Lots of restaurants. We've got Lucy's, we've got Bongo Bo's, we've got the Papagayo, you name it. We've got some places now. Where do you like to go?
So I got 3 of them. Breakfast is actually tender. Just discovered recently that when you're doing the actual breakfast tacos, you actually don't have to get them in a taco form in a bowl. So when you stop there in the morning and grab it and trying to drive somewhere, much easier to eat. Lunch is probably toasted walnuts, some actually tender mixes in some there. And then where you'll find me and my family almost every Friday night is Papa G's. Okay,
I like that. And so your patterns follow mine somewhat. I unfortunately my schedule is off so much. I'm typically doing the McDonald's because it's a drive-through thing, but when I can, I love to go to one of these places. I haven't done tender breakfast yet.
You need to. It's awesome.
Okay, I will. I'm going to take your advice and definitely check that out. Now I love tender for other meals. If, as a matter of fact, I probably go there too often. So, as you can tell, I'm not missing out on any meals right now. But if you are at home and you're making dinner, okay, or let's say lunch or breakfast, it doesn't matter, whatever you choose, what are you going to make for the family?
So I actually cook, I wouldn't say all our meals, the majority of them. Barbecue a lot. I mean, it's an assortment. We don't really have something that we go back to, but I'd say my fast one, easy one is probably spaghetti. My wife doesn't want it every day. See, she's someone that wants to eat something different, not this, whereas I'll eat the same thing for meals and meals and meals on end.
In other words, you're just a typical guy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. Totally get that. I'm like, my wife's like, okay, what do you want for dinner? I'm like, I don't know, whatever, just anything. And she's like, don't you want something? And I'm like, no, anything. I don't care. And that you're not gonna, I'm a guy. I don't care. So you're gonna make spaghetti.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds awesome. And what do you do for sides with spaghetti?
We typically do a salad and French bread.
Okay, that sounds awesome. That sounds good. If you could go back and talk to your 18-year-old self and give yourself some advice based on what you know now, what Eric Becker knows today, based on your experiences, what do you tell yourself at 18?
You don't know everything in this world as much as you think you do, and even if you don't realize it, as you go through, it's to this day, it's asking for people's advice, asking for help constantly.
I love it. I love it. I would probably, and this is going to sound really bad, but I'd probably walk up to my 18-year-old self and punch me. That'd probably be my first thing. And then when I knew I had my attention, then I would probably go ahead and impart some wisdom. So I think it's interesting what we would all do. And it just explains how far we've come, right? Because we're all growing. Celina is growing. And I want to wrap this up, but I want to ask you this. What do you love about Celina? Like what just does it for you with Celina? Because clearly you're invested like I am. Why do you love Celina?
So it's interesting. So we moved here looking for an actual acre of land, no HOA. Hadn't even heard of Celina. Didn't even know it existed. And we went north till we ended up here. And within the first year or so, fell in love with it. It's the true small town feel, the love of everyone, the helpfulness, just everyone's got the same attitude, the same goals, and we're all just after trying to make this place the best it can. And no matter what happens, is keep this small town feel.
I love it. And I'm going to ask you this: win, lose, or draw. Do you know when is the actual election? I think early voting starts on Monday. So we're right on the edge of that. We're really, really close. We have basically almost a full week of early voting.
Yep.
And then election day is the following week. Is that correct?
Yep. So early voting is a weekend and actual couple days. Then we take three or 4 days off. And then the day is actually May 7th. So it's 2 Saturdays, same day as Cinco de Mayo, which is going to be a big change for Celina. Elections fallen on Cinco de Mayo pretty much all the time for the last few actual years at least. But voting's been downtown forever, and now it's not. It's the biggest thing I'm running into and talking to people. Oh, yeah, make sure you know it's at College now. So that's going to play a thing. The other piece is it's been a big thing in Celina for everyone all the candidates to set up tents in the parking lot, hang out all day with your friends and sports and talk to everyone. College doesn't allow that. You can walk around the lot by yourself. You're allowed three to five something small signs, and that's it. So I think it's going to be a change.
That is very, very interesting, and I did not know that. I did realize when we just voted here recently that it was at the college, because I actually went over to the old ISD building and didn't see all the signs and didn't see the line of people walking in. So I was like, maybe I'm on the wrong day, but it wasn't. I was at the wrong place. So that's very helpful. Good information. And will you come back on the show, and can we talk about other things down the road, regardless of how the election turns out? I'd love to have you back on and talk to you. I'd love to talk to you all about your business and all the AV and all of those things, because I find it obviously fascinating, and I'd love to do a whole show with you just about that.
Yep. Yeah. Win, loser. I guess not really draw in this case. There will be a winner and a loser, but I'm here in Celina. I said I'm not going at any place, so I will continue to serve and continue to actually be here. So.
All right, Eric. Well, so that is Eric Becker. And thank you, buddy, so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it more than you can possibly know. And I look forward to meeting up with you again down the road. Maybe we'll run into each other in one of these restaurants one day too. All right.
Sounds good.
Guys, that was Eric Becker. A little bit of who he is behind the political signs and behind all of the postcards, and yeah, kind of even behind some of the gossip and stuff like that that's going on right now. And you know what? It's not exclusive to Celina. It is unfortunate, but it's not exclusive to Celina. And if you're able to fly above that stuff while you're trying to make up your mind about these candidates, then you're doing good. If you get down in the mud and you read all of the gossip, and it's just messy and nasty, and none of that stuff serves Celina well. But it's out there. So I'm hoping that this is a little bit of a counterbalance to some of all of that, just that messy nastiness out there. I hope that you can come to celinaradio.com and get a better understanding of who these people are, kind of in their own words. And I tell you what, it would be just an amazing blessing to me if you would share celinaradio.com with your friends. Share it on your social media. Tell other people about it. Help us get this thing launched. And then realize that you're actually a part of building something amazing. So that's it, guys. That's it for today. We've got more candidates coming up, more episodes. We're getting closer to the finish line on going through the different candidates for the different positions. So definitely tune in for those episodes. I think you're going to like them a lot. And as always, guys, God bless. And I'll see you on the next show.